They say third time's a charm. Over the course of the last week or so, I've seen 3 contemporary updates to beloved relics of my youth. The first was the new animated Addams Family film I saw last weekend, which I confess was a tad disappointing. The film wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination, but it was nowhere near as impactful and memorable as the 90s Saturday morning cartoon and films I grew up with. Then on Halloween I saw Scooby-Doo Return to Zombie Island. For the franchise's 50th anniversary, they revisited 1998's Zombie Island, basically the Star Trek II of the franchise, and shat all over its majesty. It was an abomination. One of my all-time favorite animated films, defiled. But this weekend, I took my father to see Terminator 6: Dark Fate. I was skeptical, but hey, it's Terminator, so I gave it a shot, and I'm glad I did. I was iffy about this one supposedly ignoring everything but the first 2 films since I adored T3 and T4, but damn it, this film was fun. It had some weight to it, some grit, and after the travesty that was T5, my faith is restored. But apparently, the usual bad faith actors who can't stop whining about feminist agendas or whatever are having a sad about this film. You know, the ones who raised holy hell about 2016 Ghostbusters the instant it was announced, and can't stop bitching even though the upcoming 2020 film is giving them everything they claimed they wanted. The ones who lost their shit over a Star Wars film having an Asian chick yell at some guys or something, and review-bombed Captain Marvel pre-release on Rotten Tomatoes because the thought of one MCU film focusing on a chick instead of a dude or an ensemble cast will make the universe implode. Go ahead and throw tantrums about those all you want. Not the biggest Ghostbusters fan, left Star Wars after Force Awakens, only knew of Captain Marvel through her ties to Rogue. But damn it, don't you dare come after my Terminator, a franchise I've loved since I was a child, when my father let me watch the original on VHS and took me to see T2 in the theater. Gonna say I'm not a real fan for sticking up for this new one? Kiss my ass. This one has James Cameron back as producer and co-writer after his absence for the last 3 films. Shouldn't real fans be on their knees, bowing in worship now that the original mastermind is back on board? I mean, seriously, complaining about female empowerment or whatever, because it's not like a female target of a Terminator ever rose to the occasion before, except maybe, I don't know, the very first film in the franchise, which kickstarted the whole thing. It's made abundantly clear in T1 that in the original Bad Future, Sarah Connor is a legend, hero worshipped for how she raised and prepared her son to lead the human rebellion, and scenes in the beginning of T5 further expand on this. And it's not like we had female Terminators back in T3 or that TV show before, am I right? The TX in particular, being a nasty fucker that didn't even have the courtesy to slow down when he shot her, as the T1000 at least did. As for bitching about general wokeness or whatever regarding a Mexican girl being the new target, oh yeah, the films have never focused on those with ties to Mexico, or the usual California locations' proximity to the border. Yep, them Spanish speakers in T2 must have come west from Puerto Rico or something, right guys? Okay guys, I was never well versed in Star Wars or Ghostbusters lore, and Carol Danvers has never been one of my favorite comic book heroes. Still, listening to all the micro-penised man-babies rage about those films was vexing enough. But no. You do not get to talk stupid shit about Terminator. Shit that anyone who's kept up with the franchise, like me, can easily see through. Want to say I'm not a real fan and a mangina or whatever for accepting this new iteration, produced and co-written by Cameron himself, with open arms? Go suck a koala testicle. Seeing T2 with my father, the first R-rated film I ever saw in the theater, is one of my most treasured childhood moments, and it was gratifying to see another good one with him again. It's been a whole decade since we last could. This new Terminator had some serious oomph to it, delivered by relatively unknown actors, before Hamilton and Schwarzenegger even stepped onto the scene. Some kick-ass action and just the right amount of humor at times. As a lifelong Terminator fan, I was more than happy with it, and if you're a real fan, give it a chance, and you may be too.